Okay, we're live. Welcome everyone to the Azure and AI Show. We have a few speakers lined up for today. With me there is Inni, and Inni is going to do configuring and deploying virtual machines in Azure. And we have Gabriel with us there from Spain as well. How you doing, Gabriel? And myself, Frank Falvey from Cork in Ireland. So we should have two other speakers joining us. Hamanchu is going to join us as well, and he's going to do stuff on civic agents, the rise of AI in the modern public service. And then we should have Randem is going to do a session on Azure virtual network peering. Okay, and Inni is with us now. One or two people there are having problems connecting, so we'll. Inni, are you going to share your screen with us?
Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Inabong Sylvester Bassi. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you perfect, and we can see your screen. Yeah.
Okay. Today we'll be talking on configuring and deploying virtual machines in Azure. Virtual machines, like I always say, let's just simply put it's having your computer on the cloud. So virtual machines, sometimes earlier on before I joined the cloud, I used to look at the virtual machine as some sort of, some transient thing. But getting into the cloud much better, I now began to understand that every cloud provider, every infrastructure is built on VM. And virtual machines, just to add to context, is an infrastructure as a service. That's IaaS. So that we have IaaS, we have PaaS, that's platform as a service. We have SaaS, that's a software as a service. So virtual machine is an infrastructure as a service. So virtual machine is used more or less like you running your system or your desktop on the cloud. So that's the virtual there is you doing it seamlessly online. So, but today I'll be teaching you, or I'll be showing you a walkthrough on how to create virtual machine. But just before I get to that, there are 5 or if not 6 components that will truly describe a VM. So, first of all, we'll look at the resource group. Your resource group is the building block. It's a logical container that houses everything you are doing on the cloud. So on Azure, for anything to exist, it will exist under a resource group and then a subscription. So a subscription is on top, then a resource group. So a resource group, we'll look at a resource group. We'll look at your network interface card. Your NIC is like, let me just explain in the layman's term. If you're looking at your NIC, every phone has a SIM card. So your NIC is more or less the SIM card of your VM. So your NIC is the network interface card is a SIM card of your VM. We're going to look at public IP. Your public IP is your access to the cloud. So if we are dealing on premises, we'll be looking at private IPs. Private IPs where on premises where people are deploying infrastructures within a particular circle. But if we get to the cloud and we're working with Azure, we're going to need a public IP. Then we now get to NSG. Your NSG is your network security group. That one deals with your ports, allowing entry in and out, inbound and outbound rules. So NSG will be considered. We will now look at your virtual network. Your virtual network is what if we are looking at, if it was an on-premises, it would be you first create a switch. but on Azure, we'll create a virtual network. So your virtual network allows your VMs or one or two VMs or several VMs to communicate with each other. So let me go about it again. We have resource group, we have network interface card, we have your network security group, we have your public IP, and we have your virtual network. So just to be clear, I don't know if you people heard me clearly. Hello?
That's very clear.
Yeah, so now we will move to a demo, just a short demo on how to create your virtual machines and deploy them. So I've already created my my resource group here as Alvin resource group, just like you're seeing it here. So if I come here, it's loading up, then you see this is it. This is my resource group. So I now want to go ahead to create a virtual machine, but there are different ways to do it. You can create your public IPs, your virtual networks, your network interface card, your NS. You can create all of these components before attaching them to your VM, or you can create your VM and then attach them along the way. So it depends on whatever methodology that works for you. So, but for the purpose of this demo, I would choose to use both. I can be creating a virtual network like I was doing on LinkedIn. I wrote a documentation that speaks about the components that is required to create a virtual machine. So like I said in the beginning, your resource group, your public IP, your virtual network, your network security group, your network interface card, all of these are the core components of your virtual machine. So if we come to this resource group, we can come here and we can come to here and we say, okay, let's just search. Let's say virtual machine. Now I choose to come to the marketplace. Then you now see virtual machine. Then it loads up. I pray network gives me what I'm looking for. Virtual machine. Okay, so here it is here. It says create a virtual machine. Now you see basic, you see disk, you see networking, you see management, you see monitoring, advanced tags, then you review and create. So for the purpose of what we are doing, like I said earlier, you come here, resource group. This is my resource group already created. That is Alvin resource group. So you come here, virtual machine name. Let's just call it Alvin VM. Okay. Alvin, let's say hyphen VM. Okay. Then we come down. Then regions. Region is very, very important in creating a virtual machine because most of your resources within your VM must be attached to a particular region. So for the purpose of this demo, I'll be creating my VM on US East, that is East US. So East US, then availability zones. Then you come down from availability zones. We can say no required image. Image here is we'll be using Windows Server 2022. I won't be using Ubuntu. I won't be using Ubuntu Server. I'll be using Windows Server 2022. So let's say Windows Server 2022. This is it. Windows Server 2022 or Windows Server 2022 data center. Windows Server 2022. And this is a hot patch. So, but I'll be using this one that's Gen 2. So we can come here. Then we look at the size. The size here is okay. We look at run with spot discount. So spot discount is like Azure giving you a space, and whenever they need it, they can get it from you. So we won't deal deeply into that. So size, okay, this is the size here. Recommended sizes. We'll look at 3 gig. No, so let's just for the purpose of this demo. Okay, let me just leave it for where it is there. Then we come here. Then we have to create administrator account, or we put a username. The username here and the password must contain characters that has. Okay, let me just for the purpose of this. Let me just put in something that let's just say, okay, then password, and then confirm password. So let's say then inbound port rules. Select which virtual machine ports are accessible from public internet. Now this is where we have the NSGs coming in here. Inbound port rules. We now say RDP 38. That is if RDP stands for remote desktop. So we are looking at your remote desktop. This is the port you are using, 3389. So we come here. We come to disk. So for disk will be using, this is just a demo. Disk we can use what we're using here, image default 123 gig, it's fine. OS type. Now premium SSD. Now you need to consider the fact that any resources you're deploying or services you're deploying on Azure here will also add up to your cost. So if you are deploying a premium SSD, you should understand that premium SSD, you should know that that's going to add up to your cost. So I can choose to use maybe a standard SSD just to make sure that my cost is a little bit reduced, or however I want to look at it. So key management, platform manage keys, then enable ultra disk compatibility. Okay, we won't be working on that for now. This is just a demo. Okay, then we look at networking. Now, let me just give context to networking. Networking is very, very important when we are dealing with Azure. Every cloud engineer, infrastructure, solutions architect, everybody must have a basic framework of networking. Without networking, there can't be no communication in any infrastructure. So this is for networking. Networking, we have this is VNet. Now you can allow the system to create for you, because this is already a default this is default subnet here. This is 10.1.0.0/24. The /24 there is a CIDR notation for that. So we now look at the public IP. It's already created the public IP for me. Say new Alvin VM IP. That's my public IP. Then network security group is saying and NIC network security, that's non-basic. Then public inbound rules, we can allow it or we can remove it. So this is RGP 3389. Just like I said, load balancing. This is a far away topic that we'll not be looking at right now. So we now come to the management. I'll just be explaining this. Then maybe I can go over it. The management, Microsoft Cloud Defender for Cloud. Microsoft subscription is protected by foundational cloud security posture. Okay. Identity enable system assign manage. So you can decide to enable system assigned managed identity. So Microsoft Entra ID, like we all know, Microsoft Entra ID is the hub of identity. So anything that has to do with authentication and authorization will be authenticating from your Microsoft Entra ID. So we can enable auto shutdown. Now, auto shutdown is used. You can set a timeline for when your VM to shut down. For instance, now if you're working on your VM and you now probably you are going out somewhere, or you have a particular duration, you can input the time here, and then it shuts down automatically. So we can there's something called shutdown, there's something called deallocate, but we're not working on that. We're just looking at these components right now. So backup, site recovery can enable disaster recovery. Then hot patch, then we now come over here to the monitoring. Configuring monitoring options for VM. So we can enable recommended alerts for rules, book diagnostics, enable with managed storage accounts, enable with custom storage account, or disable. So that's entirely up to you. Then you can come here to the health, enable application health monitoring. That's something we should also consider. Then we can come to the advanced. We look at advanced extensions. Extensions provide post-deployment configuration and automation. So if we are coming to the extensions, we can look at VM applications, custom data, and then user data, performance, host, and the rest of it. So capacity reservations, the proximity placement groups. Then tags, just to throw in, tags are used for identification. So if you're working in an organization, a much large organization, so it will be very, very important that you give your VM tags. Tags will actually enable you for easy recognition and identification. So if I add a tag to this VM, for instance, when I come up, if I'm creating subsequent resources, on this infrastructure, on this this tenant. But several tags will be coming up. Now, tags are basically used for identification. So when you are done with the tags, you now come to the review and create. So what I did first of all was to just take us through all the components, the basics, the disk, the networking, the management, the monitoring, the advanced, the tags, and the review and create. So I wanted to go through all of this first, just for the purpose of time, because this is just a 15-minute talk show. So I don't know if anybody can hear me there. Hello, sir, are you with me?
Yeah, yes, we can hear you. Can hear you clearly. Sorry, Gabriel, I think Gabriel wants to say something. Gabriel Naranjo, good day, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're coming from. It's buried them here. Gabriel, yeah, I think you said you want to say something.
Gabriel, you were going to say something.
No. It's okay. It's okay.
You can't pass that part. Okay. So we might have a few questions towards the end, or a few tips maybe for other things going forward, like that latency speed thing. That's very good as well. I had it up on the screen there. So carry on there. So Ini, all good.
So, please, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, no, you carry on there. We're okay for time.
Oh, okay. So can should I wrap it up here?
No, carry on. Finish it off.
Okay. Thank you. So, okay. So I was saying, I'm sorry I had to go very fast. I read the instruction. It was scheduled for 15 minutes. And if I wanted to go through all of this the way I'm supposed to, I know it can be 15 minutes. So we now look at the review and the create. So the review and create, when it's done creating, it's going to tell us the time it took to create the VM, and then deploy all available resources, just like I said in the beginning, your virtual network, your public IP, your network interface card, your NISG, that's your network security group, and then your resource group, which is the logical container. That is the house that houses every other components that we are supposed to be doing. So I think I will step out for the purpose of time at this moment, then just so that the next person can come in.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any question anywhere.
Any questions, Gabriel?
No, it's all clear. So basically, for my side, just at least add a couple of tricks about when you are creating your virtual machine, because you are mentioning it. I love it. I hear this one even busy, because you say it's very interesting when you are creating or design your architecture about the networking. So for my side, just to comment what in this case is, when you are creating your virtual machine, you have a different family to choose and create your virtual machine. Like if you go to the basic, you can select different size. It's another word, you know? So that is also, if you can go to below, please. I think.
Okay, size. I should bring it down.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Bring it down. Suddenly, you can see here, inside the site part, you can see standard D2S V3. So for my side, for my experience, I always recommend to looking for the best virtual machine for your workload, because in this case, standard D is for standard workload. But if you need to database or memory optimized, you need to choose another family, you know. So that is only for my recommendation or trick about when you are creating virtual machine.
Okay, thank you very much, Gabriel. I really appreciate this contribution. Thank you so much. Please, does anybody have any contribution or any question?
There was an announcement by Microsoft there not so long ago. We had Bart on, Bart Pasmans from the Netherlands, and he was sharing some information that Microsoft next year, they will be removing hard disks for OSs, and they're going to be using SSDs instead, because of latency issues with the OSs. So that's something to keep in mind in relation to Azure.
Oh, okay, that's really perfect, because so what Microsoft is saying is that the hard disk that it is getting obsolete, so they're facing them off, and then they're bringing SSDs which are much faster.
Yeah.
So that's very well appreciated. Please,
Yeah.
is there any other contribution?
No, I don't see any other questions on the screen. We're all good.
Okay. So
okay. Thanks very much, Annie. That was a good presentation. Everything went well.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you for the opportunity and the privilege, and I hope to be back here on more occasions. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. So just stay on the line there, and we have Dan Ray joining us. How are you doing, Dan?
Great. How are you, Frank?
Hi, Dan. How are you?
Hey, Gabriel. I'm doing great.
So just we have another speaker with us now. I read them. Am I pronouncing that okay? And he's going to do a session on us for Azure virtual network peering. So we've got a good lot of Azure stuff this week. And then you have something to share with us as well on the
Windows Recall.
Windows Recall, that was it. Very good. So do you want to share your screen there with us?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you perfect.
I need to stop sharing. That's
it.
That's
okay. I just have your screen taken off. Yeah, perfect.
All right, good morning.
Just while you're getting your screen ready there, I was talking about Bart Pasmans there from the Netherlands. He was supposed to join us, but he's ill at the moment, and he hoped to join us in a week or two. And he's got a session that he's going to do with us on secure key management for scripting, and he's going to release his PowerShell real-time service communications framework, which is very exciting. So Bart, get well soon, and we'll talk to you in a few weeks. So we can't see your screen yet.
Sorry, can I share my screen? Can I share my screen?
Yeah. So if you press share screen down the bottom there, and then you'll get a pop-up and share your entire screen, and then I'll see it on my end and I'll share it. Okay.
Okay, I will do that now. Let me know when you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we have your screen up there now. Yeah. So,
yeah. Now it's
perfect.
Okay. 1 minute. Okay, I believe you can see my screen.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. My name is Bart Mbasi, and I'm a cloud infrastructure engineer and M365 administrator. And I work with ABCL Cloud Computing and Afeso, specialized in designing, deploying, and managing scalable cloud solutions that drive business efficiency and collaboration. My passion lies in innovation and commitment to excellence, striving in dynamic tech ecosystems where I can bridge infrastructure with productivity. So basically, as I said earlier, my name is Bart Mbasi. You can check me out on LinkedIn. And I also have a YouTube channel where I post updates on M365 administration and Azure. So basically, that's the area I'm focused on. But for now, I'm really focused on M365. Then I'm also learning on Azure as well. So I'll be talking about Azure virtual network peering, seamless network connectivity. simplifying secure connection between virtual networks. So before we go into that, I'll be talking about what is the virtual network pairing. VNet pairing is a feature in Azure that connects two virtual networks to enable private communication between them. It eliminates the need for complex VPN gateways for VNet to VNet traffic. The traffic uses the high-speed, low-latency Microsoft backbone infrastructure, and it is secure private connection that bypasses the public internet. So basically, Azure VNet is a resource in Azure that offers connectivity between devices. It allows you to identify devices like your VM in the network and helps them communicate within that boundary. It's isolated from every other network, and it's actually very, 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 very important. And I'll be showing us how we can configure that in the Azure platform and how we can use it in the workspace. So I'll be going to the next slide. What are the benefits of the virtual network pairing? We have the low latency. The traffic stays on the Microsoft backbone, ensuring minimal delay. It enables it leads to low latency, and the traffic stays on Microsoft backbone, and it reduces delay. We have a high bandwidth. You enjoy maximum throughput for data transfer between VNet. It's cost effective. We avoid the operational costs associated with VPN gateways, and it is secure and private. Communication is isolated from the public internet. Basically, you're using the private IP address to communicate with the other virtual machine. I'll be showing that in the demo as well as we proceed. And I also appreciate the first speaker in Hebron, where he talked about the creation of a virtual machine, where he mentioned that you need to create a virtual network, create the NIC, create the energy, and associate them to come together to form your virtual machine, or you can just create them in your virtual machine as you proceed in the Azure portal. And it's also worthy to note that you can also decide to create your virtual machine using PowerShell, depending on what is your preference and what works best for you. Then what are the types of virtual network pairing? Basically, there are two types. Azure supports two types. We have the local pairing and we have the global pairing. The local pairing connects virtual networks that reside within the same Azure region, while the global pairing connects virtual networks that are located across different Azure regions. Both types use the same secure, high-speed Microsoft backbone infrastructure. That's important to note. We have the local pairing and we have the global pairing. Next, what are the key concepts and limitations? The first is that there is no transitive pairing. If VNet A pairs with VNet B and VNet B pairs with VNet C, A cannot communicate directly with C unless explicitly paired. What that simply means that we have a virtual network A and B that have been communicating with each other, and we have another one that is virtual network C. You can't say that, okay, since A and B are communicated and B is communicated to C, that A can communicate with C. No, you need to create a pairing explicitly that will connect between A and C for that to take place. We have the address space overlap. The address spaces of the two paired virtual networks must not overlap. It's a critical configuration requirement. You must make sure that the address spaces do not overlap, whatever address spaces you're using. And I think when you're configuring your virtual network, if there is an overlap, Azure will actually tell you that there's an overlap in here, that you need to take it off and make sure that there's no overlapping allowed. The next thing is the gateway transit, where an optional feature allowing one VNet to use the VPN gateway of the VNet to connect to on-premises network. That's also made possible. Then we have the connection boundaries, where virtual network pairing can be established across different regions, subscriptions, and tenants. Now, what that simply means is that whether you're in a different region or a different subscription or different tenants, pairing can take place amongst across resources. So that is very, very pivotal and very important to note. Then I'll be going to the next slide. We're going to be looking at the demo. The demo will be telling us an overview of how we can pair two virtual networks. Our goal is to demonstrate virtual network pairing by connecting two VNets in the same region and verifying connectivity between virtual machines. So I've already, please, I hope, can you hear me, please?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So I've already set up our two virtual machines, and I've already set up the two VNets that I'll be using for this demo process. I've already set that up. So we're going to have a VNet A and a VNet B, two separate virtual networks, each with a dedicated subnet. We're going to have two VMs, one virtual machine deployed into each VNet for testing communication. And the tools we'll be using the Azure portal for the step-by-step configuration walkthrough. Now, I'm so happy that the first speaker talks about creating of the virtual machine. So I won't need to go through the process of showing you how we can get to create that. What I'll go into basically is just how the two pairing can be done, and then to confirm if pairing has actually taken place. Then the next thing, okay, this is still a demo process. How we create resources, we set up VNet A, set up VNet B, and the two virtual machines. We configure pairing for A to B and initiate the pairing connection from VNet A, specifying VNet B as the remote network. Configure pairing of B to A. The pairing connection from VNet B to VNet A is done automatically. The moment you pair VNet A to VNet B, there's automatic pairing between VNet B to VNet A. I'll get to show you that as well in the Azure portal. Then we have the test connectivity, where you log into the VMs and use a ping test to confirm successful private communication. So I think I'll just go to the next slide. The key use cases for VNet pairing is for hub and spoke, where we have a centralized shared service. We have the firewall, the monitoring in a hub VNet connected to multiple spoke VNet. Microservices, where you can isolate different microservices into separate VNet for enhanced security and management. We have a multi-region failover, where you can enable secure high-speed replication and failover between primary and disaster recovery regions using global pairing. Then for isolated environments, we have to connect development, testing, and production VNet to shared resources without exposing them to the public internet. So I'll just quickly go to where I have the virtual networks configured, where I have my virtual machines. Then I'll try to see how I've already set up everything. For the want of time, I had to be very strategic and intentional. So I'll just get to show you exactly what I did and how I confirmed that they were actually being paired together. So first I'll be going to my resource group. We're going to my resource group. And over here, this is where I actually installed the two virtual machines I'll be using for the test, the VM1 and the VM2. I've already signed into the two of them. And then in a virtual machine that we created, we have the public IP, the NSG, we have the network interface card, the NIC, the DICs are already associated. We have the second virtual network as well, virtual machine as well, IB2 that have been configured. The public IP is there, the NSG, the NIC, and every other thing you need. And I think that should be all. Now, for the fact that it's a testing process, the next thing, we also have the VNet, the virtual network A and the virtual network B that I've already set up. And both of them are in East US. Now, for test, I have to make you understand that it is just for testing purposes. I'll be accessing the virtual network using RDP, the remote desktop protocol, where we are using 3389. That's the port we'll be using. It's just for testing purposes. It's not advisable to be used in a production environment. This is just for a demo. So now we have I'll be going to where I configured the pairing to show you exactly what I did to configure the pairing. So I'm configuring pairing between VNet A, the virtual network A, and the virtual network B. So I'll be coming to my virtual networks. Here we have the virtual network A. I click into the virtual network A for us to configure pairing. And before I even get into that, let me show you the subnet I created. I created the subnet for virtual network A and virtual network B. Let me duplicate this tab. I intend to show you something as well. And we have the subnet 1 that has has an IP4 address and has over 250 IPs available. We have the subnet 2. This is in the virtual network A. Let me show you what we have in the virtual network B. The virtual network B was for the second IP address, second virtual machine. The virtual network A was for the first virtual machine. And I'll also get to show you exactly what the private IP addresses for each of them are and how they will be communicating. This is taking a little while. Okay, we are in here. This is a subnet for this. We get to duplicate this and just quickly get to show us what is the second virtual machine. Let me check this. Okay. Taking a little while. I want to show us the private IP addresses and the subnets for which the virtual machines belong to. Okay, basically this is for virtual machine 2 and it belongs to the VNet 2 and subnet 3. Now for the virtual machine 1, let me check it. I'm trying to bring it up immediately. Okay, this is a virtual machine 1, and then it belongs to the virtual network A and subnet 1. they will be communicating with each other. So I just needed to confirm to show us that. So for us to be able to configure pairing, we need to go to our virtual network A. This is where the pairing is going to be configured. We now go to under settings, click on the drop down for settings, go to our pairings. Now when you click on pairings, you now come to pairing to be able to configure your pairing from here. It's taking a little while. Okay, you'll be asked for a remote pairing link name. Now this is based on the naming convention you prefer, but it's important to use a naming convention that you can remember and will not be easily forgotten. For mine, what I did was I used let me just quickly do this so that get to use. I used virtual network A pairing to virtual network B to show so that it will be easy. The moment I get to see it, I'll get to know exactly what I'm pairing and what is taking place. Then I'll select the virtual network. What I'll be selecting here is the virtual network I am pairing to. That's I'm pairing virtual network A to virtual network B. That's what I'll be selecting here if you're getting to do that. Now for the subscription resource ID, this is usable when you're trying to pair a virtual network that is basically maybe in another subscription or in another tenant. And how you can get to know your resource ID, let me quickly get to show us exactly how we can get to know that in a situation whereby we are pairing a resource that is in another subscription or another tenant entirely. So I want to show you exactly how you can get to know your resource ID that will be used for pairing. So let me go to my virtual network B overview. It's loading, it will take a little while. Select the subscription here, select the virtual network as I said earlier. Come down to the network pairing sentence. You can allow the paired virtual network to access VNet A. This is what I allowed. You can allow the paired virtual network to receive forwarded traffic from VNet A. You can decide to allow this depending on your preference. You can allow the gateway or route traffic in the route server in the paired virtual network to forward traffic to VNet A. You can decide to tick this as well. You can enable the paired virtual network to use VNet A's remote gateway to route server or route server. That is also based on your preference. Then the pairing link name here will be what I used was I named it from here I used from B to A, then from here I used from A to B to be able to know. I'm allowing VNet A to access the paired virtual network for the local virtual network summary. And after that, you can get to click on your add, and that will get done. So let me quickly go to where we have, this was what I did. Let me just open what I already created and show you what I did. So this was the pairing link name, VNet A to VNet B. The pairing status that has been connected. This was what I ticked. And that's just basically what you need to know. Then the next thing you need to also understand is that I configured pairing from VNet from the VNet A. But if you get to come to your VNet B, you will see the same pairing reflecting here, showing that there have actually been a connection between VNet A and VNet B. Now, let's go to our virtual machines and see exactly how this works. Now, if I come to my virtual machine here, before I get to do that, I'll need to get a private IP address for my virtual machines. This is a private IP address for my VM2. I copy this. I go to my RDP where I open my VNet 1, and I'm trying to check the connection. I can decide to use PowerShell, or you can use your command prompt. But in this case, I'll be using my command prompt. I can type COMM, I open it, and then I run as administrator. So I can first of all check my IP config for this. This is my private IP address for my VNet, for my VM1. I want to split my screen. Then let me check for my okay. Under here, let me just do CMD. Let me see IP config. This is the private IP address for my VM2. So if I want to connect these two, I can now come to my VM1 and type ping. I want to ping them the private IP for this to see if it's going to be connected 10.0.0.1. No, 10.0.0.4. Sorry, I pinged the default gateway instead of the IPv. That will not go through. Thank you. 10.0.0.4. And there's a pinging between that. Now, before now, this was not possible. If I actually get to try to do this, it will not get to work. Now, if you're trying to do this and there's you're having a response like request timed out, what you can actually get to do is to turn off the how do I call it now? To turn off the security here, your Windows Defender firewall, just to be able to be sure that the pairing has been able to take place. You can turn off your firewall. As I said, it's just for testing purposes. So basically, that's how we get to do that. And you can get to see that this is communicating with this. And then I can now say, okay, let me ping this. Let me ping this. Let me ping the private IP address of my VM1 and check out if I'll get a response. 10.0, 10.1.0.4. Okay. Now it's not giving me a pinging. I think what I have to do now is to try and come here and turn off the firewall for here, just to be sure that that is not what is preventing it from connecting. The moment I get that done, we're going to, okay, let me just make it to be in a continuous loop while it's pinging so that we are sure if ping this. See, it will just be running while I quickly turn this off and we get to see what's going to happen now. Is my VM1. Nope. You won't come here. Check. Yeah. Yes. Let me just turn off this. So it's not recommended. I just want to turn it off and see. Let me just turn off this. So it's not recommended. I just want to turn it off and see. Okay, now you see, the moment I turn that off, we're able to get a reply from the private IP address from VM1. So that's exactly what I was trying to show you. That's not, you can actually configure the pairing, but the firewall can actually be stopping the pairing from taking place. The moment I got to turn that up, we're having a response from that. So I'll just quickly go to my slides and see how I can. So let me just quickly stop this. Yep. So I had already talked about this. Then we go to the best practices for pairing management. I said one of the best practices for pairing management was that the naming convention has to be something that is clear, consistent for easy identification. Then you regularly monitor traffic, pairing traffic and latency to ensure optimal performance. You can monitor that by using the network watcher. You also avoid overlap. You strictly enforce non-overlapping address spaces during your VNet planning, and you document the relationships. You maintain up-to-date documentation of all pairing connections and their configurations. And then under the gateway transit, you ensure only when necessary to control routing complexity. So next, in conclusion, Azure VNet pairing is a powerful tool for building scalable, secure, and efficient cloud networks. It enables seamless communication between VNets without the complexity of gateways or public IPs. Then whether you are designing hub and spoke architecture, enabling cross-region failover, connecting isolated environments, VNet pairing simplifies your network strategy. With a few clicks of CLI commands, you can unlock low latency, high bandwidth connectivity across your Azure landscape. The cloud is only as strong as its connections. Virtual network pairing makes them invisible, secure, and fast. Thank you.
Cool.
Very good. Great demo, and it worked both ways, backwards from A to B and B to A. Perfect. Great presentation and great demo. Any questions from anybody? No, we don't get any questions in the chat. No, well done. Very good. So then we have a few minutes for your presentation.
I can share my screen here real quick. There we go, Frank.
Okay, can see this, yeah.
So one of the things that I showed a little bit earlier on the Azure and AI show, and I've been using it for about 2 or 3 weeks now, is Windows Recall. This is a new function that Microsoft has released in insider builds of Windows 11. So you can see at the bottom here, if I zoom in on my screen, that I'm running build 27954 of Windows. And if I pop into my recall preview here on my computer and zoom back out, first thing I'm going to be prompted for is my PIN or my biometrics. And then what I will see in recent snapshots from recall is not just everything but incognito browsing. I see screenshots from the use of my computer on one or multiple monitors, and I can configure recall in various ways from a security perspective. It is protected by my own biometrics, so it's not just you have access to my computer and you can view everything from a historical perspective. But that's typically how a browser works, right? If you're sitting at my computer, I leave it unlocked or I let you start typing, you can see all my browser history unless I have chosen incognito. In recall, the history, if you will, is further protected with Windows Hello or biometrics, your PIN at a minimum. And I can also go into clear search history, open recall settings, and pause this if maybe I had to work on some very sensitive or NDA type of work. So there are numerous settings that you can control in recall. And the reason that I thought this might be interesting for the Azure and AI show is that you have to have an AI PC, Copilot Plus PC, that meets certain standards. So this is a Surface Pro 12, one of the latest generations of the Surface tablets. And this device, as well as the Surface Pro 11, meet those specs where I have enough performance from the NPU, the neural processing unit. You can get a system that's designed from Intel, as well as the Snapdragon processors from Qualcomm that meet these performance specs. And then within recall, I can do things like, where did I create a user account, or where did I have some Spanish text? Gabriel, you had me thinking about, hey, maybe there would be use cases where I don't necessarily have my computer in a foreign language, but I have a website that I visited that was in a foreign language. So you can see here that I have 3 results that include the word ayuda, which means help in Spanish. And I could bring up those references that I found, and I can even click into the result and open that in either Edge Beta that I have on my computer or the Edge browser. And then it takes me right to the link.
Very, very cool.
We've got it. There we go. Yeah, so this is like browser history on steroids, because it can be commands that you typed, it can be other applications you used. And if those applications are, again, maybe early access, beta, or something that's very sensitive. Like maybe I have a Teams build on this computer. I have the new icon for Teams, but maybe some of the things that I have in the Teams application are not ready for people to be able to view. What I could do is go to the settings, recall settings, and I actually have an apps to filter feature. So I could say, hey, don't show my PowerPoint or my Teams or other applications, either Windows or third party. And then it stops taking the snapshots when you're using those apps. So Frank, I'll leave it at that. I do have a Windows Insider build that is ready to come to this computer. What happened last time I got a Windows Insiders build, and the reason I didn't do this before presenting, was the recall cache got emptied. So between builds, there may be situations where you kind of reset your recall cache. So if there's things you want to test, be sure to test those between or prior to installing new Windows Insider preview builds. I will double check when I install this new preview build if recall has done a reset again. But that's a little bit about Windows recall.
Very good, Dan. Any questions?
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
I will ping you, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
I think cerrar means to close. So even in the Spanish windows, I have to learn or practice my Spanish, I should say.
Okay. Very good. So we had two out of our three speakers turn up anyway. We weren't doing too bad. I had a few questions about the thing I shared there last week, Dan, about that free 100% voucher.
I do. Charity was very interested in that as well.
Yeah, so I just want to share my screen there again, just so as that I can show people there. I'll actually put this in LinkedIn as well, the link to the website. It's skillup.levelup.com. And so they have this all these certifications on their site. So if you complete a course on their website and you do a practice test, you'll earn a free exam voucher. Okay, so it's got a lot of these, and they look like they're actually all the associate ones: the AI engineer, Azure administrator, Azure developer. There's lots more. DevOps engineer, network engineer, database engineer. So we won't go through them all, but you can see I'll post it on the site. So you have to do the practice test. I have on the screen here as well. This is the Azure AI fundamentals. I done this one there last year, and this is on the Microsoft Learn website. Okay, so this is where they kind of give you all the overview of the actual exam and the practice exam. And so this is, you just log in here and you do the practice exam. Okay, so I'll just show you some. When I done the practice exam, they say if you get over 80% in the practice exam 3 times, you're ready to do the exam. So I'll just show you my results from the start. Okay, so down here, obviously, it was April last year, 2024. So you see, when I kind of started, I was kind of getting, I failed. I got 46%, I got 54%. Then I was kind of doing it again. I was getting 66%, 76%, and then I got up to 82. So as you can see, the more practice you do with these practice tests, you'll get better and better. And so by the time June 11 came around, I was up to 90%. And I had 84 and 86. So if you get in around the 80 to 90%, you're good to pass the exam. So that's what I just wanted to share. So I'll put the link to this website inside in the LinkedIn under the show, and that's kind of it for this week.
Cool.
Okay. So
May I? Maybe?
what's that? Sorry.
I can share.
Yeah,
something.
sure. You can share your screen there. Yeah.
It's not prepared, but I'm thinking about. So basically, okay.
No,
So
you're good.
1 second. Here we go. It's you can see my screen, right?
Yeah. You got your screen. Yeah.
It's very quickly about one very common question. I just only 1 second. Let me go to. Okay, you see my screen, right?
Yeah.
I am today. I will share with you basically very quickly about the AI Foundry model, right? You can see here at the moment we have 11,000 frontier model and open source. So that is a very big. The most common question is, what is the best model for my solution, right? For my agent, something like that. For this big question, Microsoft presents in the bill, the new model. The name is the model router. It's a specific model working like a proxy. Let me show you very quickly. It's here. Okay, when you go to the Azure Foundry, you can see the overview model, obviously, the last one, OpenAI, something like that. Also, we have now Sora 2, but you can see here specific model router, right here. What I mean is basically this model of how it's work. You can see here I can delete, I deploy it, but when you go inside and select, Microsoft said or provide help about to testing your best model. Basically, when you deploy this model, Microsoft say, okay, model router dynamically select the optimal LLM for your specific query or task, but the most important is in real time. At the moment, it's in general preview, public preview, right? So basically, I don't recommend for use to the in production, but you can test it for the model, and then select the best model, choose the model, and share and use. Right? You can see here you can use, or in this case, model router select between all of OpenAI family, only for OpenAI family at the moment, right? You can, depends on your query, you can select between this one, GPT-5, GPT-4o, etc., etc. Okay? When you confirm, is another model. The same, the model version, capacity token per minute, TPM, the resource location when I mentioned it about the VM, etc., etc. But let me share. Sorry for that, because I have this this demo is in Spanish. So sorry for that, but doesn't care, because the most important is how it's work. Okay, let me run the script. It's very easy. Now I am running a full analysis. Okay, you can see here in this part, say, okay, connect to the model of the testing using model router. Okay, depends on your question. In this case, in natural language, model router behind the scenes select the best LLM in the real time. You can see here, the first one is, what is the capital of the France? It's very easy, right? So basically for this question, they are using the model 04 mini. For the another question, how many days has the week? Basically 7. They have select to another model, in this case GPT-5, for answer this question. When you are continue for testing or asking about what is the best model, or for my solution based on AI, you can use this one to test the best model always. When the most complicated is your question, you can see here we are finding the resonance model. In this case, or for mini, GPT-5, etc., etc. But just only for I can share with you. But I think it is very interesting because we have a lot of models today, and it's very easy. For final, let me share with you what provides model router is basically simplified model selection. In this case, the most important is always you can use the best model throughout to the model life cycle. That is very important about the life cycle. You can model benchmark to monitor, etc., leaderboard, select the best model, etc., etc. Cool. That is for my side. All for my side.
Very
Very
good.
quickly today.
That's definitely new for me, for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gabriel, for sharing that. Any questions on that, guys?
Gabriel, I think we talked about it, and you've shared demos in Spanish before. And I think that's one of the really cool things that we've done besides, worldwide representation is multi-language, right? There are so many things
possible.
that used to be,
it's
difficult.
possible, but this is a demo for I presented just the Wednesday, I think, this week. So basically.
Yeah, but between PowerPoint,
the next session I will present
Teams,
all in English. I promise you.
Yeah, there's so many places now where language becomes less and less of a barrier. Teams can do active translation. So even if you were speaking and demoing in Spanish, I attended my first international Microsoft event in Madrid. The whole presentation was in Spanish, and I was not able to understand most of it because I don't speak enough Spanish and I don't understand enough Spanish to keep up with somebody. But Teams now has active translation where it would be translating that back into English for me. Or if the presenter had used PowerPoint, the captions could be in English. There are so many technologies that are bringing us closer and closer, even when you're speaking a different language or I'm speaking a different language.
Exactly. If you see my last video I published on LinkedIn, I am using the new video translation for this reason. You can using AI upload your video, and Microsoft automatically convert in your different languages. At the moment, it's not work currently with the Lindsay, but maybe in the future work currently. Yeah.
I think that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really allowing us to communicate with people that, in the past, I don't speak any Japanese. I may know like 1 or 2 words from, popular culture, or hearing them enough. Same thing with French. I know the common French phrases that you hear or that you see. But somebody that posts in French, or even Polish, somebody posted something in Polish, I was able to translate it to English and then interact with the person.
Yeah.
It's so neat. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, welcome.
Yeah, very good. So I'm just looking here at the 6 people here, and there 4 are MCTs. Are the other guys are you an MCT or? Second, now you're on mute.
Okay, I'm not an MCT.
No, just
No, not MCT.
Yeah.
The moment.
Okay. So
we work together.
Yeah, Opeyemi, you're going to do a thing. Is it next month? MCT.
So by next month I'll be live with Frank. So just talk about those who are interested in like we have a lot of people in the community who have been asking me about the MCT program, because I just got mine not quite long. So people that are like interested, like with the roadmap and know things, what it takes to be an MCT, I know. And then and then I think Dan, I think I did message you on LinkedIn. So
I saw that. Thank you.
So,
I'd be happy to participate. I think that date should work fine.
Yeah, so it's going to be on November 29th. Yeah.
I don't recall if that's the week of Thanksgiving. It might be the week after. But that would be.
We have one question in the chat. I don't know where is the specific link is asking, but Kibet Mike is asking where can I get the link? Maybe you're sharing, Frank.
Yeah, maybe that's the link. 1 second.
The scale up, maybe.
Yeah, I had that posted on my LinkedIn. I'll just see if he is on my LinkedIn. No, he's not. He might be after joining your one, maybe. Is he on your chat on your LinkedIn?
Yeah, and I think the presenters were I think they did a fantastic job. But
I'll just put it.
Azure virtual machine. I was watching before I joined you, and then I was actually in another event, so I had to crush down here after that event. So we are hoping to see you guys in the MCT zones. That's quite interesting. Yeah. Nice
okay,
one.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
With respect to the event on 29th November, what time is it, Mr. Opeyemi?
4 p.m.
4 p.m. Okay,
Yeah.
4 p.m. Right, I want to just confirm the time, because I know I actually chatted you up once about the MCT.
Yeah, you did an answer.
I haven't gotten it yet, but I intend to, so I think I'll definitely be there for the event. I'll lost be.
All right, no problem.
Mr. Opeyemi, congratulations in advance.
Yeah.
Okay, just to add to everything, before we wrap up, whenever we do, today is a very how do I put it? I feel so inspired being on the show with Frank and Dan Ray. When I came over on LinkedIn, I think that was like a year ago, I never thought I would be here. But with consistency, showing up, doing the things not doing these things even on the days that we don't feel like.
Right.
I think that's exactly what has brought us here. It's because tech can be really draining. When you wake up and you're like, we have to push it, and we keep pushing and we keep pushing. So I really want to thank you. This is something for me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Right. Welcome.
you.
I'm happy to hear about the AI show, about the infrastructure. So that is very good.
Yeah, it's great now that we're kind of getting a mix of kind of AI and Azure. We didn't have much Azure stuff for a good while. So thank you guys for showing up. And we have loads of speakers for the next couple of months.
That's
doing
awesome.
everything from AI to Azure, the amount of stuff, topics. There's a huge mix. Now, can I show you some? Yeah, I'll just give you a kind of. I'll just take a snapshot. I'll just show you there, guys, what's coming up.
Yep.
1 second there now to show my screen again. I have something like 28 new speakers lined up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And some of them are going to do maybe 1 month and then do another the next month.
That's
So
amazing, Frank.
all different topics. So can you see my Excel screen there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So these are so we've got Copilot there that Amelia done, configuring virtual machines we had today. We've got re-imaging operations with predictions of intelligence and real-time dashboards, something new. We've got Entra, Microsoft Copilot and Power Apps, mastering Copilot Studio. So huge amount of stuff. We've got stuff about
Cool.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll get Sarah to turn up. I've changed the time from 7 to 5 p.m. where she requested.
That's great.
Okay.
So even going down the list, we've got more collective agents, intelligence in action. We've got data mesh for financial institutions. So look, even here, Playwright as a MCP server. So lots of stuff. Human robot synergy in manufacturing. See what a list of stuff. So yeah,
That's amazing, Frank.
yeah, and I have sessionize running, and the time frame just ran out on it, but I have more speakers to add to that list, and I'll be extending it again. So
great.
Well,
is it like a 3-month window or is it shorter?
Yeah, but I can it just timed out there now, but they said I can actually extend it.
Okay.
You know? So I can just
I think there was something with that where you had like a window and you could move the window, but you have to move it manually.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if you could just say, hey, this is a standing community call. It's monthly or it's weekly or whatever the cadence is, and just have it stay open, right?
Yeah.
But
so
I guess that's a feature enhancement.
Every language, every region.
And that might just clutter up things. You know, if they said, oh, it's available forever, and then people are signing up.
Exactly.
But
yeah,
if you like, share, learn, teach about the technology, you are welcome to the Azure AI Show.
Yeah. So since I've done it, people are reaching out to me as well outside of Sessionize to do speak, so it's great to have, good few speakers every week, and we're still flexible. We'll go over the hour every week if we have to. 2 or 3 weeks ago there. Somebody says, unfortunately, I cannot register because of the daily limit.
I think that's for your for the free exam voucher. So there must be a daily limit too.
Okay.
Yes,
So, yeah.
there's a daily limit to it. But
Yes,
I
sir.
think the person actually strategically, I had that error at the point. Then when I tried again, early the next morning, I was able to get the slot. So I
You
think
get
the
up
person
early,
can try it. Yeah.
get
Perfect.
up early in the morning. Yeah.
That's good advice.
And I also discovered that they've actually done a lot of like changes from what initially when it came up. It was actually that you can pick up two assessment tests, and you had unlimited. Recently, they've actually given like 65 minutes. They have just one assessment test opportunity. You can't go beyond one. So I think one of the things I learned from this is when opportunities like this come up, the earlier you jump on them, the better I think it can be for you. Just make the best of it and just don't waste any time. But I think it's still available. Just try very early in the morning. Then before we go, I don't know how long I'm gonna be here, but let me just say something. I know I've had conversations with Mr. Dan on LinkedIn. I've chatted, I've commented on one of his posts, on two of his posts. I've seen from Falvey often. Mr. Gabriel, is amazing to have you here. I know in Yobong and Mr. Opeyemi, I happily get to see him on ABC of Cloud. He's one of our mentees. He's one of our mentors. He has been in the system and has always been there, consistent. And I want to say that I'm honored to actually be here. It's an amazing experience for me. And I believe that this is just the first of many more to come. I definitely believe I'll come back again and feel fantastic. So I want to say thank you so much, Frank, for the opportunity. Thank you so much, Dan. Thank you so much, Opeyemi. Thank you so much, Gabriel. Thank you so much, Inyobo. I really appreciate it. Thank
Welcome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, guys, I'm just going to end the live show. Thanks, everyone. We'll be back here again
Thank you,
next
everyone.
week with some more speakers. Thank you.
See you soon, guys.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.